It's been a while since I've sat down and recorded a video. Anyways, time to embarrass myself on the internet again. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. To start off the new year, Happy New Year everyone by the way, I thought I would take action on a video idea that I thought was actually pretty fun. And today, I'm gonna be talking about the K-pop stan crimes that I personally am guilty of. To clarify a bit further on what this means, these are basically actions that I do as a K-pop stan that would probably be looked down upon by others. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie, I shared these things that I do with some of my K-pop stan friends and they all got pretty mad at me, which I thought was pretty funny honestly. And considering out of the 3 people that I shared these actions with, 100% of them got mad at me for them, I think a lot of you will feel the same way. If you're worried, don't be. None of these things are 100% morally wrong or just genuinely awful. These are just like kind of funny, weird habits that I have. And it will be very funny to see people's reactions in the comments. So if you have a particularly strong one, don't be afraid to share it in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. If you're still confused, it'll make more sense as we get into the actual video. And without further ado, let's get into crime number 1. I've consumed leaked content. Now, I've never uploaded or gone out of my way to seek out leaked content, so don't sue me, but as someone who spends a decent amount of time on social media, leaked content always finds a way to show up on my screen. Whether that's just through scrolling on Twitter, or maybe someone just shares it with me directly, it doesn't really matter. And if I find myself somehow stumbling across leaked content, especially if it's maybe a highly anticipated comeback song, yes, I will be listening to the entire thing. I know a lot of people, especially the fandoms of the groups whose content was leaked, tell you not to consume it, and the reasons for this may vary from you need to give your actual view when the comeback drops so that you can support them on music shows, or maybe people just don't want to spoil the final product for themselves. But if I'm excited for something and I find a way to access it early without paying, then I'm gonna do it. This does include the NCTU Let's Play Ball leak, and more personally, for MCND's most recent comeback, the highlight medley was posted early, and even though it was unlisted, it was put into a playlist, so if you went into that playlist, you could still watch the video. And especially for something like that, if it's on the official YouTube page, they're still gonna make money from it even if it's unlisted. So I just genuinely did not see a reason for me to not consume that media early because it was right there, and nobody loses in that situation. So yeah, if I happen to come across leaked content, if it's right there, I'm going to watch it. Sometimes I prematurely judge albums based on how much I like the album cover. I don't do this a lot, but sometimes if I feel like the cover art for an album is particularly ugly, sometimes I just won't listen to it at all. And I'll do this especially if I'm not familiar with who the artist is. I don't know about the rest of you, but listening to music that I don't like really feels like a chore. And while I try to keep up with all of the recent K-pop releases, if an album's cover is giving me a strong omen that the music isn't gonna be to my liking, then there's a chance that I'll just avoid it completely. The most recent example of this that I can think of is Middle from Winner's latest solo album, where it's this really jarring and almost nauseating neon green color, combined with this personally unappealing art style in the middle that just completely turned me off from it. I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and this isn't even an exaggeration when I say that it's making me feel a little bit sick, and I do feel like I need to listen to it soon because people have told me that the songs are actually good, but that the album cover is just really hard to get past. A lot of people judge albums based on the title track, but I judge it based on the album cover, and if it's ugly, then I'm not going to want to listen to the songs at all. I feel like a lot of the time, people use these really unappealing but eye-catching cover arts to try and get more clicks. Personally though, I believe it's essential to find a happy medium. Yes, an album cover is supposed to be eye-catching, but it can't be so outlandish and jarring that it makes people like me not even want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Sometimes I pick my bias based on visuals alone. This one is definitely the most iffy thing I do on this list. Just let me explain myself for a second though. If you look in my description, I stan and casually follow so many different groups where it would genuinely be impossible to get to know every single one of the idols. Okay, maybe it wouldn't be impossible, but if I did try to do that, it wouldn't be fun. As you can see, there are tiers and levels when it comes to the groups that I stan, and I'm only completely familiar with all of the idols in the groups from my Ults section and a couple from my semi-ult section. And the reason is I'm only interested enough in those groups to the point where I'd go out of my way to look for content centered on them. So when it comes to these groups that I just casually follow, when it comes to picking a bias, because picking a bias is pretty fun to me, I'm basically just gonna look at all of the members, find the one that catches my eye the most, and that's gonna be my bias. I just don't have the time or motivation to really dig deep and figure out the personalities of these groups that I only casually follow. The reason that these groups are in my stan list is because of their music, and they only rise up to my semi-ult or ult section when the music is too good for me not to learn about the members. So 9 times out of 10, if I know an idol's personality, or at least the persona that they're portraying to the world, it's because the music was so good that I just naturally gained interest in the members. And a lot of the time when I do finally take that leap and start watching content for them, my bias changes. For example, in Twice, I was a huge Momo bias at first, and I do still find her personality very charming. However, after getting familiar with all 9 of the girls, I just had to bias Jonghyun. Watching their content, and especially seeing Jonghyun's history of volunteering and donating to causes that she cares about, drew me to her specifically in a way that just goes beyond any of the other 8 members. Not that I don't like them, I love all 9 of the girls, but just Jonghyun, you know? And this only came after they dropped Alcohol Free, and I was like, wow, their music is so good, I really need to learn more about them. So yeah, all of the groups that I stan have really good music, but it's only when the music gets really good where I start paying attention to the members in ways other than, oh, I think they look pretty cool here. Yes, some people say that you can't call yourself a true stan if you don't love all of the members within the group, but personally, I don't go by that criteria, and I don't care to. Even on first listen, most of the time I don't listen to an album in the designated track order. This is the one that made every single person that I told upset with me. And the thing is, like, it's so easy to just listen to an album in its track order, but I think it's kind of fun to listen to it shuffled. Here's the thing. People say that you need to listen to an album in the designated track order so that you get the full experience and the message that the artist was trying to portray, but this is K-pop. Like, tell me the last time that you came across a mini album or even a full album that was cohesive all the way through. I'm telling you right now, I can't. I can't name a single 100% cohesive K-pop album that I've listened to, and I've listened to almost every single release that came out this year, and a really good amount of those that came out before 2021. I know the composers and producers, and maybe even just the person who chose the track order for each release, has some sort of musical experience that they're trying to guide you through, and sometimes it does sort of work. I mean, I totally saw the vision of MCND's MCNDH that was released in January, but I'm being 100% genuine when I say the version of me that exists right now doesn't really care about whatever musical journey that an album is trying to take me through, because I'm gonna end up listening to the songs on shuffle in my playlists anyway. I just love individual songs, and maybe for me it's about the destination and not the journey, who knows. But yeah, track order, it doesn't really matter to me, I don't care. And that concludes this video. I feel like that last point especially is going to be very focused on in the comment section below. And considering the tone of this video was pretty lighthearted, I feel like I kept it pretty casual. If you want to have a little bit of a bicker in the comment section below, you want to yell at me, don't be afraid to do so, it's all going to be in good fun. If you want to maybe confess some of your own K-pop stan crimes in the comment section below, and if you like the video, consider leaving a thumbs up. If you want to support the channel and the video, consider subscribing or maybe sharing the video to your friends. And thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video, and without further ado, see you next time.